Well, within about a week, you're going to receive your Solavei Bank of America Visa debit card. And what's unique about this card is that's where the unique technology is that resides keeping track of where all the purchases are going to take place by our Solavei members with Solavei partners. So two things happen. One, the right remuneration will happen from Solavei partners back to Solavei. More importantly, the right remuneration will happen from Solavei back to the members of Solavei through the compensation plan that's in place. Also, this is the card that you're going to use to get cash out at the ATM, use it to make purchases anywhere Visa is accepted. Let me draw a picture of how all this works. Let's say that over the course of the last 6 months, you've been involved with Solavei. For the first couple of weeks, because you're really excited about the $49 a month unlimited voice, text, data, 4G nationwide, you went out and told some friends about it. Well, they did just like you. They were excited, so they told other people about the $49 a month unlimited plan. Well, your network over time has now grown to over 80 people. You've not done anything since that second week except just talk on the phone, like you do now every day. Well, every 2 weeks, Solavei is going to deposit directly into your bank account. And let's say today you've got $298.44 sitting in your bank account. Well, one of the things that Solavei is going to create is an environment where you can actually see where those dollars can go further. So today, you look on the application and you see every area by category where Solavei partners are. You happen to see that today Target is offering between 3 and 7% on merchandise purchased by Solavei members. So you go to Target, just like you normally do every single day. Getting party supplies for this weekend, you're getting automotive supplies for your car, except here's what's different. 3 to 7% of that purchase today is being paid back to Solavei, of which 50 cents of every single dollar of gross profit is being paid back to the members of Solavei through the compensation plan that's in place. A virtuous cycle has been created. Well, one of the things that we will do here at Solavei is weave a mobile wallet directly into that Solavei bank account. So let's say you go to Target, you're at the cash register, and you see that little PayPass signal. And you say, I'm going to use my Solavei mobile wallet. So you punch in your 4-digit code, and immediately it pops up. You see your previous Solavei balance of $298.44. You see the transaction amount of $106.30. You see the current balance now of $192.14. You see the date, you see the time. You also see that 7% of that purchase is now going back to Solavei, of which 50 cents on every single dollar of gross profit is being paid back to the members of Solavei through the compensation plan that's in place. You say to yourself, why wouldn't I take the money I've got in my JP Morgan Chase or my Wells Fargo bank account and put it directly into my Solavei Bank of America debit card because my money goes further? Well, let me step away from the role play and share with you some of the things that have really created a lot of the enthusiasm around Solavei and a lot of the things we're doing today and going to be doing in the future. We have done a litany of focus groups. A lot of us come from very large, multi-billion-dollar consumer and technology brands, and we all know how important it is to test with focus groups. One of the universities recently did 10 focus groups for us. Demographic of individuals making less than $50,000 a year, sub-demographic meaning different age categories. These tests were done with variant testing, blind studies, black and white, no marketing materials, and here's what's amazing. We saw results that we've never seen before. 71% of the participants that were part of those focus groups said they'd moved from their current mobile phone service provider to Solavei because of the rate plan of $49 a month unlimited and also because all the benefits that came associated with Solavei. I'll actually tell you about one of the focus groups that I personally did. It was with university students. There were seniors and first-year graduates. So if you think about the demographic for a moment, these individuals are very conscientious about what they make and what they spend, and every one of them have a mobile phone. I did the exact same presentation that I'm doing with you right now up until the last slide, and I asked the question, how many of you are interested? Every hand in the room went up. One young lady said, interested? I'm going to tell the entire student body here at the university about Solavei. Well, I said to her, do you mind if I use you as an example? And she said, no, go ahead. I said, how many people in the next 60 days do you think would want to be like you and use Solavei as our mobile service provider with $49 a month unlimited? She said, Ryan, everybody I know. And I said, okay, If you don't mind, please quantify that for me. She said, at least 20 people. I said, okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to be a little more conservative than you. I said, do you think that you know 6 people that would start using Solavei as their primary mobile service provider because they too like the $49 a month unlimited text, data, voice, 4G nationwide, and do just like you? She said, Ryan, that's easy. That's my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, and I'm not even started talking to my friends yet. I said, okay, I tell you what. If 6 people do that within the next 60 days, we're going to put $150 directly into your bank account. On top of that, we are going to pay you $40 per month each month residual income on the usage of those individuals. So your $49 a month phone bill is now only $9. I said, how many of those 6 people are going to do exactly like you did? And she said every one of them. Again, I said, okay, I'm going to again be more conservative than that. I said, do you think that 3 of those 6 individuals will do half of what you did? She said, Ryan, they're all going to do 6. I said, okay, 3 just do half of what you did and just get 3. She said, Ryan, that's easy. I said, if that happens, we're now going to be paying you $150 a month. So your $49 a month phone bill is now gone. Plus, you're making over $100 a month, and we're not even talking about the goods and services. This is just on the mobile phone service. And if 6 of those individuals do half of what you did, we're now going to be paying you $260 a month each month. Well, it literally freaked out the focus group. And that is something we have seen with every single focus group we've done thus far over the last several months. And one of the reasons why there is so much enthusiasm around Solavei and the opportunity we are bringing to the market. That same response has been consistent with attracting key employees and investors to the company that are now involved with Solavei. We have attracted the very best. It was last October when the vision was still in my head and there wasn't a presentation to take somebody through that I flew to Washington, D.C. I had several meetings there and I asked somebody that I really respected, Jim Ryan, to fly from Atlanta, Georgia and meet me there. Jim had been hired in 2003 by the CEO and the board of directors of AT&T to launch and build their $200 million mobile data services business. Jim helped grow that business over many years, and that business now for AT&T represents over $12 billion a year P&L for AT&T. He was also one of the ones responsible for doing the AT&T iPhone deal with Apple. So I really respected his thoughts on the industry. So while I was sitting there, I went over the vision I had for Solavei with Jim. The next morning, I received a 2-page email from him. I'll summarize it with the first and last paragraph. First paragraph, Ryan, I believe what you're creating is the culmination of my entire career. The last paragraph, Ryan, if you allow me to be involved with Solavei, I'll move my family from Atlanta, Georgia to Bellevue, Washington. Well, I'm proud to say that a month later, Jim joined me as my head of products, moved his family from Atlanta, Georgia to Bellevue, Washington, and now lives here. My head of finance was 8 years the chief accounting officer for T-Mobile. My head of legal and policy, former U.S. congressman. My head of sales, former president of Veridian, a leading energy and utility direct sales company. My head of member experience led customer support for one of the largest telecommunications operators in the country with over 10,000 employees working for it. The former chief operating officer of Walmart, Louis Vuitton, and Target joined me approximately 2 months ago. The former chief care officer of T-Mobile, 7 years, won the J.D. Power's Best Care in the Wireless Industry, joined me about 2.5 months ago. In December, we had approximately 17 employees and contractors building the technologies of the company. Today, as we ready for our national launch, we have over 140 employees and contractors building market-leading technologies and services for what we're doing here at Solavei. I self-funded the company through March and then attracted leading investors to the company. I was sitting down about 4 months ago with David Limp, Vice President of Amazon and leads the global P&L for Kindle. He used to work at Apple with Steve Jobs, and when David saw this several months ago, he said, "This is one of the strongest things I've ever seen," and personally invested in the company. I did a webinar very similar to what you're seeing today with John Miller, who was formerly the chairman and CEO of AOL, and today is the CEO of News Corp Digital and the Chief Digital Officer of News Corp. After 1 hour of listening to the webinar, just like you're seeing, he said, "This is the most powerful thing I've seen in over a decade." He personally invested and now sits on our board of advisors. We just had Eddie Lazarus, who has been the Chief of Staff for the FCC, join our board last month. I have so many more that I could mention, but what I can say is it's the best team I've ever seen come together at one time, and that's because of the vision that's in place with the company. Just as we've attracted great people, we've attracted over 20 key partners that have aligned with what we're doing, all wanting to be a part of Solavei's launch into the market. We had the leading mobile operators vigorously competing months ago to be the primary mobile services backbone to our company. We ultimately chose T-Mobile because of their capacity of their network and their commitment to deliver to the market with us something that had never been done before. We had the leading financial institutions competing to be the financial services provider, and we chose Bank of America because of their technology. The leading handset manufacturers vigorously competed to be part of Solavei, and we chose HTC and ZTE to provide next-generation smartphones, and they committed approximately $100 million in handsets just so they could be a part of our launch. I could go on and on about all the individuals and all the partners that have associated themselves with the company because they believe in what Solavei is doing for two reasons. A, because it's never been done before, and B, it's going to positively impact millions of people's lives and they want to be a part of it.